So welcome everyone to the Successfit team call. It is August 10th and yeah, I'm excited to have everyone here. I am going to kind of mute everyone out, I think, real quick. So let me just do that, mute all, so that we can get some quiet. So if you need to speak, make sure you unmute. I'm really excited that Carla is hosting our call tonight, and I'm going to talk about her in just a minute, but there's so much going on right now. And I know, like, with even though it's also still summer and everyone's heads are probably in 1,000 places, I just wanted to make a point about a few things. I think I shared a Gary Vee video where he talks about August is the time when a lot of people take the time off, which means this is our opportunity to get ahead, right? When everyone's kind of taking the time off and resting, this is where I think entrepreneurs who get ahead, this is our opportunity to really do that, to still dig deep, to make sure that you're the one who's out there and pushing towards your goals. So I always think, like, I've noticed in these last couple of years as we approach this last kind of quarter of the year, that this is your opportunity to really push yourself to the next level in your business. So whatever that goal may be, now is the time to get really clear on what that is. If you haven't been, get really clear on what you need to do every single day to get there and really recommit, because otherwise the year just goes like that and you're sitting there in January thinking, here I am again in the exact same position. I didn't grow. I didn't move forward. And it's because you need to dig deep, I think, and really commit during these times. And this is your time to shine. So whether you're a new coach and you're just getting the hang of it, fall is such an amazing time to hit Success Club. People are finally ready to get back, but you need to start planting those seeds right now. And if you're an Emerald coach pushing to Diamond, now is the time to dig deep. Now is the time where people are starting to think a little bit about September and what life is going to be like as they head back into routine. And if you're a Diamond moving into Star, Diamond, and beyond towards Elite, same thing. Now is that time to get really clear on where you are, writing down the names of the people you're wanting to help, and making your vision that crystal clear, as well as carving out the time and the plan now that you're going to follow through on. Because success just doesn't happen by accident, right? We need to plan for it and prepare for it and make it happen, move ourselves forward. So yeah, that being said, don't forget there is a Diamond Foundations group starting this month. It kind of runs over the next few weeks. And then September, those who qualify will head into the Push to Diamond group. And this is, where people are going to reach that goal and join the leadership retreat that we're going to host at the end of January. And also there's that competition going on. It's Cup right now. Country Heat has launched. If you are feeling overwhelmed, or you need help with how to talk about some of these things, reach out. We can do another small Zoom on these things to get everyone moving forward. Don't get to be like a deer in headlights where you're thinking, there's too much, I just need to enjoy my summer. This is the time to make that difference, kind of to dive in and take advantage. And I think there was one more thing I was going to say, and it's kind of flown the coop. Oh, I know what I was going to say. It's really important, I think, in this business to be a joiner. To dive in and to try everything yourself. Everything's not going to be for you, but, like, watch an episode of the 20s. Make sure you do a Country Heat workout. Understand the promotions and the things and the cup teams and the things that are going on, because even if it's not for you, it's going to be for somebody in your downline, somebody you're talking to. And that's what we do, right? We help people find the right thing for them by asking them questions and having the knowledge to share with them. So make sure you're diving in and being that joiner. It really makes a difference. And I know I can speak from personal experience. You never know how much you're going to love something until you really go all in on it. And I've honestly felt that about Country Heat. It still might not be like my soulmate workout, but I was really kind of ho-hum about it. And this morning I was like, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to really push myself and like go all in on this workout. And I actually had a lot of fun and was really sweaty. So that's my experience, learn from my experience. Anyway, without further ado, I am going to pass it over to Carla, who is one of our newer diamonds. Very exciting. And I feel like Carla has just kind of rocketed the last few months. It was so nice to have you there at Summit and to see you there at the Super Saturdays, because we get to go to the same ones. And your team is really starting to sprout and grow. And I know that she's really passionate about making sure that the people that she brings in get a great and amazing experience. And so that's what I'm really excited that this is the topic that you chose to do tonight, because I think we could all use a little help in the department of running our challenge groups a bit better and giving back to our team. That's the crux of what we do. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Carla, and thank you again for hosting tonight.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for having me. Okay, so today I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about just um, increasing challenge group engagement, and then a little bit about my points challenge. And the main reason being that the last, I think it was my June group, I was actually running two groups. So I was using the app for a bit, and then I had one of my customers who was like, the app doesn't work on her phone. She had like an old BlackBerry Z10 or something. And she actually said to me, well, I want to get another challenge pack and I'm going to have to get another coach if you can't do a group on Facebook because I need the accountability. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do a group with just 22-minute hardcore. And I'll get, like, I knew some of my other coaches wanted to try it, like my discount coaches. So I got a group of like 7 people together and ran a group like just for her. She dropped off after day 3, but anyways. And then I was also running my app group, and both of those groups in that month were so quiet. And I was like, okay, I need to change things up, because usually my groups are pretty active. And then I kept like doubting myself. Is it just the app? Like, what am I doing wrong? I was listening to a few different videos and things on what to do. I was also away quite a bit. I've been away quite a bit this summer. So then of course you start thinking like, is it me? Am I not giving enough to the group? So I just kind of like re-looked at what I was doing and restructured it a little bit, because I did take a lot of the notes. Like Larissa gave me a ton of stuff. We have a Google Shared Drive. There's all of the files in Successfit. So I use a lot of those templates, and then I just tweak them to make them my own. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. And I have a little slideshow presentation here that I'll kind of go from the beginning. Okay, so you guys can see the first slide, right? Yeah, okay. So increasing challenge group engagement and the points. Okay, so the first thing I do with all of my groups is I have a new theme for each month and a new name for each challenge. The groups I've decided are always 21 days long, but they can do any program while they're in these groups. And then they get a 1-week break, and then we start again. So I start all of my challenges on the 3rd Monday of every month, because then that gives me that first week to go really hard with my sales so that I hit SC 5 or 10 within that first week of the month. And then because like they have to order by the 7th or 8th of the month to then start that 3rd week. So I always start the 3rd Monday of every month. They're 21 days, and then they get a week off, which ends up becoming kind of a prep week. But I only do a 5-day prep week. So I start my prep week on the Wednesday before the challenge starts. So my challengers, I have a lot of people like that just keep repeating, but they kind of get like 2 full days of being off, and then they go back into prep. I keep all of my discount coaches. I like constantly every month, you want to be back in? I try to keep them as engaged as possible. I want to keep them motivated. I want to hopefully inspire them to work the business if that's something that they feel up to, but also to keep seeing their own results. I feel like that they need to kind of stay in touch. Anyone who's ever purchased anything from me is welcome into my groups as many times as they want. And then a lot of them, not a lot, but I do have a few in there that already had the program, and I still let them in. So I pretty much let anybody into the groups. My groups average anywhere between 30 and 40 people usually. So, and then usually it ends up being about, like before it was like only like 6 or 7 people that were active. And now this last challenge group that I did, like right down to the wire, I was still getting 20, 25, sometimes 30 comments on every single one of my posts. So I was really happy, and I'm not sure like which piece of the puzzle made it happen, but I feel like it was like a combination, and I feel like I finally nailed it, and I'm really happy with the challenge group. So I was excited to share it with you guys. So first thing I do is So what I do is I put people, as soon as they are interested, I put them into like a waiting group, like a holding group in Facebook. And there's just like a welcome in there. And then once I close off registration, which is like the last day that they can possibly order. So it's usually the Friday. Sometimes I'll let it go until the Monday before, like the week before the challenge starts. once I close it off, then I send them a welcome email with all of the tools to help them succeed. So I send them like a blank meal plan. I send them the grocery list. I send them like a bunch of 21-day fix like tools, and sometimes like a week 1 meal plan as well. So a welcome email, and I can definitely share all of these, like my actual files. I'll upload them into Successfit. And then I make a collage with all of my challengers. So like you guys can see this collage here. These are my challengers for this challenge that's coming up. So of course I always ask them for permission. I actually ask for not permission. So I say, if you don't want me to tag you or you don't want me to use your picture, please let me know. Rather than say like, please give me permission. I kind of ask for like, if like, send me a private message if you just don't want to be tagged. I had one girl last month that was like, yeah, please not me. But then this month she was okay with it. So I think she gained some confidence over the month, but that, you know, like that just goes to show. So I create a little collage. Last month, my group was on Facebook. So I did like a Facebook cover, and I used canva.com. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's really great for creating a lot of different posts and Facebook covers and stuff like that. So I did it like the long ways, like a Facebook cover. And then for this one, because I'm doing it in the app, I made it like a square so that when they open up their app, like they see their own picture. And so this month, the challenge is called Summer Sizzle. And so I put the Summer Sizzle words over top of all of the faces. So I always have like the name of the challenge in there. And then, so I send the welcome email a couple like that Monday or Tuesday before, and then on the Wednesday, day 1, I schedule that prep day 1 email. And the prep day 1 just basically explains to everybody what I expect from them, what they can expect from me, and then I ask them to answer 5 questions for me, and then I explain my points challenge. So the 5 questions are like, why are you doing this challenge? On a scale from 1 to 10, how committed are you? Are you willing to follow a meal plan? Like, it's just really getting them in the headspace and kind of forcing them to answer those questions and to share those with me. And then I keep them in a little folder so that if they start to go quiet, I go back to those and I say, you said you were committed, like 9 out of 10, like, where have you gone? Like, I'm time to give you some tough love. I'm here as your coach. I'm going to help you succeed with this. Like, don't let, 1 or 2 bad days get you in a funk, come back into it. So I had to do that to a couple people last month, and then they just kind of slid right back in.
Can I ask you a quick question? That's awesome, by the way. I think that's amazing. But so this is an email that's separate from the 5 days of prep that you're doing in the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. So, and I'll share my file. So I have like one of my Word documents is just my email. So I do a prep day 1 email. And then after the first week, I send them an email. After the second week, and then the third week. I send them an email once a week.
Awesome. Thank you.
I got that from Larissa. So she was doing that. And I was like, yeah, I like those. So then I just made my own. Okay. So this is my Fab 5 Points Challenge. And what they have to do is they have to do these 5 things every day. And in the comment of whatever post I have, they have to like answer whatever question I'm asking. How did your workout go? And then they have to comment done times 5 to get their 5 points. So what they have to do, they have to work out every day according to their plan, eat according to their plan the best that they can, drink their Shakeology each day, read personal development, and cheer on other challengers. So I think just putting it in writing, the cheer on other challengers, and I think I saw Carla on the call here. She can attest to this. Like, the group last month was on fire. They were like liking all of each other's stuff. They were commenting on all of each other's stuff. They were really encouraging one another. Like, I don't know if they just didn't think that that was only my job, but it really got them involved, which was really awesome. And in that email, when I explain the challenge and I explain what's expected from them, I actually give them suggestions on the personal development. So every month, and this is good because it keeps me accountable, and this was always something that I used to brush off. And I've found that the more that I do, the better of a person I become, the better of like a coach that I am, like just all around. Like it means so much. And I I don't know, I used to really just brush it off like, oh, I'm positive enough, I don't really need a personal development, but it makes such a difference. And I really saw it in my challengers. And so during week 2, it's kind of like I always say to them, oh, and what book are you reading? Because it's kind of like I'm also trying to catch them, because a couple of them are like, oh, I'm actually not reading a book. I'm like, oh, well, you're writing done times 5. Like, you're supposed to be reading something. So I give them a bit of tough love. Like, I'm not going to let them win the competition if they're not actually doing the work. And the people that are actually doing the work are the people that are sticking to it and sticking with it. And a few people were starting to post their own motivational things each day. And it was really cool just to see them like share their experiences as they went. And so something I always share is with Audible, I know Bree has mentioned this to us before, but your first month is free. So as a new challenger, there's kind of no excuse. And also my friend pointed out to me, anybody in the Toronto area, you can get ebooks from the Toronto Library for free. So you can get a lot of these books free. So you're not asking them to spend more money. They can choose a podcast and listen to that, and that's free. So I'm not expecting them to spend money, but I am expecting them to tell me what their personal development is and to actually do it. And I think that that's made a really huge difference in the challenge as well. And then I do team calls. So this is the first time that I tried this, and it was so much fun. I did a group Zoom call the Sunday night before the challenge started, pajamas and wine, although most people drank tea and water. So then I, converted to tea myself because I felt like an alcoholic. But anyways, I gave them a bonus 10 points for being on that initial call. And I basically just went through, most people are doing the 21-day fix. So I went through that, and then I answered questions, and I just kind of explained a little bit about what the challenge was and what my job as a coach was and that kind of thing. And just let people like meet each other and see each other's faces. And they were kind of like, this is so cool. So it also got you to see like, who is into that kind of thing. And then I did a group Zoom call on a Thursday night, like day 11, where I just shared the coaching opportunity. So it was like a sneak peek into coaching. I gave them 20 points for this because I really wanted them to be on the call. And I actually signed 2 coaches up after that call. So it kind of like forced them to be on the sneak peek, but they were all like, I think surprised about what they heard and surprised about how I approached it. And I was totally like, this is either for you or not, like no pressure, but just listen, just come to the call, listen, ask questions. And it was really fun. And then because I was so excited and I was so happy with the turnout, I did an on the spot little raffle giveaway and sent off a prize as well, which they weren't expecting, but it was just something kind of fun. So I really like prizes. So I do a lot of that stuff. And then throughout the challenge, obviously you're engaging every day, liking and commenting on all of your stuff. Also posting yourself, like reply to your own posts. So I schedule my posts and I don't hide behind that. Like even on my calls, I say like these posts are scheduled and I admit to them, like they're pretty much going to be the same content every 21 days. Like I might tweak it slightly, but I always change the picture. Or like the headline quote, like my post picture, I change that every month, but the actual content is pretty similar. And it kind of always revolves around like workout, Shakeology, eating healthy, drinking water. Like it's the same kind of stuff. So the actual content doesn't change that much, but then I will reply in that thread about how I feel that day and how I'm doing and what I'm doing that day. So just make sure that you're engaging in it as well. The email check-ins I already mentioned. So I do that once a week. And I always ask for it back. Like I always ask questions. I don't just send information. I always ask them to reply to me with something. And then I also did a little video during week 3 before the end, just basically saying like, this is going so great and this is what I'm doing next and what's coming up. And because there was a lot of stuff happening in August, and then so in September I am actually running a 30-day challenge because I'm going to do the diet bet thing. So I am doing that September 5th one, but I'm thinking of doing one the 3rd week of September as well. So I kind of was letting them know that it's a back-to-back thing and that I'm doing the 3-day refresh in between, and like just it's easier to explain by video. So, and then just asking them who's in for the next challenge and what they're doing. And then at the end, on the last day, again, I congratulate everything and I post a video of who the winners are. And I don't write it in the script. I kind of make them watch the video of it. And I announce the winners. And if there's a tie in the points, then I would do a raffle. And then I show them what the prizes are. So it was a big prize this month too. It was, I gave away the Country Heat DVDs as the first prize. And then I did a t-shirt for second prize. And then I did like one of those insulated lunch bags as the third prize. And then I had some fun little hair ties and stuff like that. So, but doing a lot of videos and engaging with them, I find helps it make it a little bit more personal, and they get to get to know you a little bit better. And that's it. And the main thing is to like be there for each other and to use the support of like our teams as well. Like whether you have, like, I know I'm part of Fit Boss is kind of, you know, my other little team that I'm always part of. And then, you know, right now with the cup going on, I've got my cup team that I try to check in with as well. But just be thankful for all the people that you have around you and that are supporting you. And don't ever be afraid to like ask questions or reach out for support or find out what other people are doing, because it's quite inspiring. And one other thing, I do like to run free groups. I try to do them once a month, but sometimes with time it just isn't possible. But I am doing one this month. It's called a Summer Soups group. So once I have all of the notes up for that, I'll share that. And we're just basically doing a different soup each day. And they're going to be summer soup. So there's going to be some cold ones in there. And then I'll do like a winter soup group as well. But yeah, so that's it. I'll unshare. Does anybody have any questions?
Carla, that was amazing. Honestly, I think what I love, besides how obviously passionate you are about it and that it's working, I love that every single thing you do is basically making these people doing all the same things that coaches are already doing. They're encouraging other people along. Yes, they're working out. Yes, they're following their meal plan. They're reading personal development. Like, it's almost crazy for them. Like, if they don't get results, I mean, they're going to get results. And then it's almost crazy for them not to become coaches because they're already doing exactly what we do, minus like maybe putting it out there a little bit more. So
yeah, it was pretty funny. My best friend was in the challenge, and she was like sending me messages like, this person should really be a coach and this person should really be, I'm like, I know. So some of them like have become, and then others I'm like working on them, and they're like, I still have a lot of work to do on myself. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like you can pick out pretty much like those people that are like there all the time supporting everybody, and like, yeah, it's pretty cool, and who are actually doing all of the vital behaviors already, right? So
that's awesome. I think you addressed some of these questions in here, but does anyone have a question they want to unmute and ask? And Jamie, I agree. I need to rewatch this and really study it again too. I feel like I already have all these ideas buzzing away. Thank you to you.
So there's
I was like, I want to make a comment, but you can go first. You want to go first?
Jody?
me.
I just ask, you said that you put them into a holding group. So when someone is interested, you put them into a holding Facebook group. Is that what you said, Carla?
Yeah, exactly. As soon as they express interest in the next challenge, or they say they're about to order, I put them into that group. And then I'll post in like the countdown to like, make sure you get your orders in. I'm about to open the app or whatever. I mean, last month, like I said, I went back to Facebook for that 1 month, but I'm back in the app now. And then I like close that group on the Monday the group starts. So I leave the Facebook group open for communication in case people are like having troubles like with the app and whatever. And then that Monday when it starts, I just close off the Facebook group.
So when you use the app, and like, do you teach them how to use the app so that they can talk? Like, I haven't used the app often. I did 2 challenge groups or 3 in the app, and like a lot of people have said, the conversation doesn't seem to flow as well. How are you getting them to understand how to use it and communicate in there?
Well, I always tell them to comment on the thread of that day's post in order to get their points. They can tag other people when they're talking to other people. Like, I don't know if you've seen that, like you're like, you talk at someone. But my people have just kind of figured it out. I don't really give them a lesson on it. I do tell them that there's a little tutorial that they can watch.
Okay.
as I said, like I'm going back to the app after taking a break from it because it was going quiet on me, but I don't know if it was the app or if it was just everything else. So now that I have this new system, I'm like giving it another go on the app because I really want to make September awesome. So this is kind of like my trial on the app again for this August group to see if I can, really get it off the ground, because for me as a coach, the app is so much easier to track.
Yes.
You can actually just go and like, everything is there and charted. I don't have to like read through, especially because I was away for a lot of the month of July. I was like trying to tally up the points and my eyes were like bugging out of my head as I'm like scanning through every single post and seeing who did their workout and like, it's pretty crazy on Facebook to track points. So I find like the app is a lot better. So
Thank you so much.
See how it goes.
So inspired. Love it. Thank you.
Could you envision using like that, a point system like that for a free group?
I guess you could. I sometimes do little giveaways in my free group. Like I did one time I went a little crazy and I was like, everybody who posts every single day in my free group gets a Shakeology sample. Mm-hmm. And so I sent out, I still only ended up sending out, I think I sent out like 7 or 8. So it still was not as high as I thought.
Right.
And I say to people, like, you have to be honest and you have to post that day. Like, you can't go back on day 5 and like comment on every single, like, that's not really fair.
Yeah.
So at that day, I close it off. Like that's it. And then, so I'm just looking back at a question from Erica. Do I suggest certain personal development? And I do, Erica. So I was just going to say, it also helps to keep me moving with my personal development, because it's like whatever one I'm reading right now, I'm going to suggest to the next group.
Okay.
So like,
because I'm in the dark. Sorry. Like literally in the dark,
really
but I just wanted, I know, sorry, I'm on the porch, but no, I'm just wondering, because I think some of my people, like I want to put PD in my group this month, but some of them I think would be like, what's PD? Like I didn't know what it was when I first heard the term.
Yeah, I suggested The Compound Effect as the first book. And then I was also in the moment listening to Grit. So I also suggested that one. Okay. Now the next one, I'm listening to Ask Gary Vee, which I don't think is as applicable to like the challengers. So I'm not suggesting that one, but I suggested the This May Cause Miracles by Gabrielle Bernstein. I know Larissa's read it and really loved it. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what I was going to say. Anyway, so yeah, I do suggest a new one each month because it also tries to keep me like going with them as well. Like I need to come up with something new. And then I usually suggest, like, I think I suggested that one in like Shalene's podcast or something this time around. So I always try to give them a podcast and a book.
That's awesome. Shakeology podcast might be a really great thing for people to be. They're so short and they're so full of why Shakeology, like, but not in like everyone should drink it, it's amazing, but like literally facts about why, how to drink it, why to drink it, if you're going to add boosts, why would you add boosts and when and how much? Like it's very specific and helpful.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a brilliant idea. What else? Who else has questions?
I didn't have questions so much as I just love that. I mean, recruiting still, like, it's still a sore spot for me. Not a sore spot, but it's like, I get most of my coaches that come through challenge groups in like the real organic way, as opposed to like putting out a post, hey, like join my team and I have no idea who you are and you come to me. But we hear like those national wake up calls where like that coach does exactly what you just did, like always making people hop on the Zoom, making people go through the vital behaviors in the challenge group. And literally by the end of the challenge group, they're like, bam, they're coaches. Mm-hmm. Like it makes so much sense. And it's clearly it's working for you. And it's just so nice to see A, it working for you, but B, like we all know you. So it's like somehow it seems more tangible. So thank you for like instilling hope, I guess, for all of us.
And being so generous with what you've done, because I know that it is like, I think one of the most amazing things about the team and even Beachbody in general is people sharing what works for them, because I think what works for one doesn't always work for the others. We all have to learn to compile and try and fail forward. But thanks, Carla. Like this stuff is really awesome.
No problem.
Oh, right. And Rachel just posted where you can snag the slight edge. That's amazing.
Cool.
So great.
And there's like too many that I want to read. I'm like, I don't know where to start. Listen to.
Well, and I feel like there's stuff sometimes you just need like motivation. And then there's like, I need to work on this skill. You know, I feel like there's two sides of personal development. It's like, what do I need to just fill up my cup today? Because it's one of those days. And then what do I need to grow as a person? And they're very different things. And we need to be reading both, I think. So
yeah, exactly.
I want to just say quickly to Larissa on talking about external recruiting. I don't know what it's like for everyone, but as someone who's now 3 years in, it wasn't until really this last 365 days where I feel like actual external recruiting, where people actually joined my team, like fully from cold. And it's because you need to be around long enough, I think, for them to follow you. They need to see what you're doing. Like Rachel Harvey is a great example. I think she's probably was my first to ever come. You're my first to ever come and be like, okay, cold. Like we hadn't, and come through a challenge and actually join not come through a challenge, come through a sneak peek. So just remember that those are the things that take time and that get a little bit better as time progresses. So in my experience, this was awesome, Carla. It was like short and like punctual and powerful and full of great information. Does anyone have anything else they want to share tonight or comment or ask Carla?
One more thing, because like meeting Joel Freeman was so awesome. And I just want to say, like, he was so humble and down to earth that it totally blew me away. And I overheard like someone say to him, like, thank you so much for doing like all of these extra pictures, because he was totally just like doing pictures with people like all the time. And he was like, of course, like I'm here for you guys. And that just kind of resonated with me as a coach. Like, we're there for our challengers. Like, that's who we're there for. So of course we're going to like give ourselves to them, right? Like that kind of, I don't know. It just really, resonated with me. So I wanted to share it. And because he's just awesome. And I can't wait for that workout to come out. And back to what Bree said about Country Heat, I decided, if anybody who knows me well knows that like Country Heat is like the very opposite end of the spectrum of where I'd ever be with workouts, but I am doing it for September. So
it was fun this morning.
Like, I adore Autumn, and every single one of her workouts is like my number one favorite. Like, I can't even pick a favorite because I love them all. And so I have to just trust. And I want people to trust me. So like I have to trust the people that I follow.
It's true. It's true. And I can see why. Like I can see why it's a great program. It's such a fun. So dive in and be a joiner. That's what I have to say. Awesome. That's so great. Anyone else have anything they want to say before we close out?
I do. I just, I kind of forgot about the photos from Super Saturday, but I found them the other night and I tagged all the GTA people that I recognize anyways from Successfit.
Thank you.
So if you guys haven't seen them, they're awesome. Lots of good. Next time I'm going to flex.
It makes it.
And he also liked all of my pictures because I tagged him and he liked them all.
That's amazing.
Larissa's so jealous.
Well, this is why you have to make it out to Super Saturdays. And I'll tell you, like 3 years ago when I went to my first one, there was nobody there. Like it was teeny tiny. And now Toronto is really on the map. And as a result, we get celebrity trainers to come. So find one close to you. If there's not one, start it. Like eventually it will be huge and you will get the important people to come. So, and those pictures, they're priceless, right? Like they're just to have that photo with them it's really nice to use in your marketing and everything that you do. So, thank you, Carla. Honestly, that was such an awesome call full of great info. I just wanted to close with this because I was hanging out with my sister today, which is really exciting for me because normally she lives in Australia and my sister plays roller derby like Rachel, and she was showing me her Pinterest boards because I don't know anything about Pinterest. And there was a quote on there, I think from like a top roller derby girl. And it said something along the lines of, I don't care, like what she says to her fresh meat, like the new people, like, I don't care if you fall, everybody falls down. I don't care if you fall down. I only care about how quickly you get back up again. And that was such a such a powerful moment for me. And I think it's something we need to feed to our challengers. It's something we need to say to each other. Everyone's going to fall down. Everyone's going to fall off the wagon. Everyone's going to have slip ups and, all these things. It doesn't matter. It only matters how quickly you get back up again. And that will define your success in this business and how many people you help, right? When you're fast about that. So awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I'm already excited to watch this call again. Have a great week. Let's head into the next half of August really strong. Have great cup months. Help your teammates. Share what's working for you. And we'll see you in a week. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks, Carla. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys. Bye.